Welcome to Bahati, talking about real issues that are affecting you as an individual. Insights about financial and personal growth, plus better relationships. And now, Bahati.
Okay, welcome to a place where we talk about lifetime transformation. We talk about the tools, we talk about the strategies to empower you to transform your own life. But my request is you just don't transform your life, you also transform other people's lives. Don't stay with this information, pass on the information, and let's grow together. I'm Bahati Hilda, a high performance expert, and here we share strategies. And one of the strategy, or some of the strategies that we've been sharing are focusing and being able to retreat. Okay, and right now I just want us to talk about resetting, because we always reset our phones just when you're about to change a phone or you're about to sell a phone, and then you go back and reset it. That means it has been running and it has been a good run, it has served its time, and you were happy about what it was doing, but maybe you want to change your game plan, or you want to upgrade to another phone. Most of the times when people are changing phones, they're either upgrading, because some of these phone companies are also so wise, because they will release, you know, an X, and they will release an 11, and they will release, you know, they're in series. Why? Because they know that by the time you have this, then you will want to a better camera, or you want to be, you know, to have a better running system, and so you'll want to upgrade. So you reset and upgrade. Okay, so when it comes to the matters of life, like we talk about life, when we talk about resetting, you know, here on a phone, it's just a button. Whether it's on a laptop or gadgets, it's just a button. You press once, deletes everything, and then everything is lost. Remember, we cannot delete everything from our life. We don't have the luxury. I wish we had that luxury. So many people would have reset like multiple times. You're resetting to forget exes, you're resetting to forget, you know, the bad money deals, you're resetting to forget companies that didn't work. But again, we don't have that luxury. That is a very beautiful thing. Do you know why? Because then we get to pile up lessons, and we have the compounding effect of all the lessons that we have learned in life. And then sometimes we never get to repeat the same mistakes that we have done. So that means we have learned, and you either win or learn. You don't lose in life. Anything that you have gone through, it could have been a bad marriage, could have been, you know, a bad business partnership. It could have been a company, you know, gone broke. It could have been someone, you know, just someone vandalizing your house or your car or anything. There is always a lesson somewhere. And I want you to be able to actually look for opportunities from the obstacles that you are facing. There is always an opportunity somewhere, because if you don't win, you learn, but you do not lose. Okay, so this is when we talk about resetting. And resetting, you're not going to forget about everything. You're not going to erase your first part of your life. No, but this is when you're like, okay, now, starting now, going forward, this is the kind of life that I want. I want to elevate. I want to accelerate. I want to upgrade. Okay? Going forward, I don't mind what happened in the past. I don't mind what I thought I couldn't do, the failures that I had, the obstacles that I faced. I don't mind those. I am just going to be, I'm not going to erase them or forget them, but I'm going to pick the lessons therein, and then I'm going to have those lessons help me re-engineer a new life that I want to go forward with. Okay, it could be a loss of job, it could be, and so many of us reset in so many ways, by the way. Could be a loss of a loved one, could be, I know of a girl that I talked to recently that lost her parents in a space of 3 months, and this person went through a lot of turmoil. On top of that, there was a loss of employment, there was, you know, a breakup in the relationship, there was like one thing was happening after another. And I remember when she came to me, she told me that, you know what, it's like my life is is running down the drain and I am a spectator, I am looking at it. And I told her, okay, now you're going to cease to be a spectator. You're walking away from the spectator's bench and you are going into the driver's seat. Okay, yes, I know that you're accelerating at a very sloping, at a very high speed, but it is very, very possible to make sure that you are present, that you are picking the lessons, that you are sitting in the pain and feeling the pain, not just running away from the pain, because we have a tendency of running away from the pain. Don't run away from the pain. Face it head on and make sure that you grow through it. Not just go through it, but you grow through it. Okay, and we grow through so many things, but most of us are never intentional, because resetting is intentional. Resetting, it does not happen by reflex. It does not happen without our input. It does not happen without us intending it. So it's in the intentionality. When you intend that your life should upgrade, when you intend that, okay, now I have had a downfall, I have had a free fall for so long, but right now it's time for me to stop midway and catch myself and say, no, I am not going down the drain. I am not flashing all my visions down the drain. I am not losing everything that I have worked for. It's high time I actually caught myself in the middle. And that is where so many people that are getting depressed. You know, when someone is getting depressed, it feels like, it's a bit, sweet to think about, the bad, apart from the grieving, but so many of us are thinking about losses, okay? So when you're thinking about a loss, maybe a work loss, a business loss, and so you dwell on it a little more and a little more, any kind of loss, before you know it, you are walking into woods, but you're promising yourself, I'm strong enough, I'll come back. I'll bounce back. Now, some people, by the time it gets to be diagnosed as a depression, because what we do is we usually have phases, okay? There is when you are healthy, and then there is when you are reactionary, there is when you are injured, and then there is when you are ill. Now, when you are ill, that is when the depression has already set in. And for so many people, it's very hard for them to actually trace back their footsteps to come out. The reason as to why I'm talking about this is because so many times we need to reset because of the things that we are going through. Could be a depression, you have hit a rock bottom, okay, sat there for a long time, and now you need to be able to hit the reset button and be able to start taking control and taking charge and taking your power back. That is what reset does. Resetting gives you your power back, and your power is not going to be given to you back. Okay, let's change the statement. You are going to take back your power, and most times we take it by force. Most times we have to speak to our minds, okay, and talk to our minds and say, you know what, you're going to align, we are going to work together because we are going to be successful. We are getting out of this date, we are getting out of this breakup, we are getting out of this rock bottom, we are getting out. That is why positive affirmations, for some people, they don't work, they take it as a cliche, oh, affirming. But remember, confession is possession. So whenever you confess that, you know what, I am strong, I am going to make it, your mind aligns and your actions start aligning to that effect. Before you know it, you have actually come back. So you see that resetting has a lot of things that are surrounding it. It's not just pressing a button and, oh, we have reset. Now we are on, it's not like launching a missile or launching a rocket. No, it's not like that. Okay, so that means it has to be very intentional. So I want you to intend. I want your intentions to be in the right place, because after intentions then comes the good actions. Okay, after you intend something, then you act. That your thoughts have power. And by the way, where do we reset? We reset in our mind. Okay, we reset in our mind. There is nowhere you will walk around and we will see a reset button and we're like, Ben has reset. No, there is no way we are going to walk around and no. It's in your mind. While you walk, you're actually saying positive things about yourself. While you're walking, you're saying, actually, I'm taking my power back. I'm taking charge of my working capacity. I'm taking charge of my delivery. I'm taking charge of how relevant I am. I'm taking charge of my significance. business. I'm taking charge of my business, okay? I'd let it go on a free fall. I'd employed someone and I'd given them, you know, a lot of authority. They've done so many things in the company. Why? Because I was aloof, because I was lost, because I was stuck, because I was depressed, because I had hit the rock bottom. But right now, it's time I come to reclaim my rightful position in this business so that I can know how to reinvest, I can know where the profits, how the profits come about, and how to grow this business. Why? Because we reset to re-establish ourselves. We reset to relaunch. We reset to be able, because it's like the resetting, it's like a pad that gives us the oomph and to be able to jump, okay? Have you seen people on a pool and they want to dive? They have that diving pad that they base on, because if you stand on the tiles, you're not going to get that momentum. But if you go on a diving pad, you're going to get the momentum to be able to jump. Now, when you reset, you're like reclaiming your power back so that you can get that momentum to be able to jump and dive into the pool the right way you're supposed to dive into it, okay? So I want us to go together. You reset to re-establish yourself, to re-establish your authority, to relaunch, and to be able to upgrade your life. So that means that your version now is going to be much better than the version that you were operating on. That means that your software now is upgraded. There is a lot. Have you ever upgraded a software and all of a sudden there are new features? All of a sudden the speed is high. All of a sudden, like, everything seems like if you just touch and things happen. That's exactly what happens because you have upgraded the system. So when we reset, we are resetting so that the following action can actually give us the momentum to live the lives that we want. But let's wait. Do you even know the life that you want? Because some of us are lost in the chaos. Some of us are we are living other people's lives. Some of us do not have an agenda of our own. We don't. We are living life like everyone else is living. So every day you wake up, go to work, eat, go back and sleep. Wake up, like every day is the same. And you have repeated that for so long. Now, after you have repeated that loop for so long, and you see that that loop is actually not giving you what you want, that is when you're like, wait a minute, okay? So in the waiting a minute, that is when other people retreat, like we talked about, and refocus, and other people choose to reset and say, you know what, I'm ditching this life that I have been living. This kind of, it has not given me anything. I've been on autopilot. That is the right word. You have been on autopilot for so long, but the autopilot has not worked. Now I have to be intentional. So you reset and say, you know what, okay, now I'm starting afresh. I'm starting, whether it's eating clean, whether it's exercising, creating intentional relationships, whether it's delivering work on time, whether it's you know, establishing your time and, you know, getting your control back and saying, okay, what do I do between 5? Yes, I have a 9 to 5 or I have an 8 to 5, but what do I do about after 5? If I want to increase my income streams, do I need to go and have a short course somewhere, an online course somewhere? Can I look for that course now? That is a mind that has reset, okay? Like you start seeing things. When you reset your mind, it's like even a change, your attitude changes. Your attitude automatically gets upgraded. I don't know what an upgrade of attitude looks, is called, but you start seeing colors in the world. Like all of a sudden things were very dull, but all of a sudden you see the yellows, you see the whites, you see, like life is different. Your priorities change when you reset. Why? Because right now, back then, you were doing things normal, you know, free fall. But right now, you're like, you know what? I will wake up in the morning, I will exercise, I will take my breakfast, maybe I will do, for some of you that are on intermittent fasting, you're like, okay, I will take my breakfast at around 11. And then you realize everything is intentional. When you eat, what you eat, when you work out, what kind of work you do, you realize people have changed careers after resetting, okay? And someone all of a sudden says that, you know what, I have had people, and it's never too late. I've had people come to me wanting to change their trajectory, especially in their careers, and they're at 50. And then anyone would have said, oh, but it's too late. What have you been doing? Someone says, I've been serving for the past 30 years in the same organization, doing the same thing. But but this is something that has just come to me. You know, people fear restating, and I already used the word because of fear. They fear uncertainty. They fear what has happened. They've never seen anyone do it. Or they have seen people do it and they're like, I don't think I can, because those people seem like they're the privileged ones. They seem like they're the ones that are organized. There is a way we credit everyone else, and then we put ourselves so down. We are the number ones to pull our self-esteem down, to tear ourselves up and to tell ourselves we can't. Okay? And so, year by year, you stay at the same job, at the same career, doing the same things. It becomes a routine. You start getting tired. You start reacting. You start rumor mongering. You start gossiping. You start developing all these things. You start, calling in sick. You do all these things, and let me tell you, there is a way life just communicates to us. Do you feel tired? Your life is telling you something. Do you feel exhausted? Your life is communicating. But we do not pay attention. But a person that pays attention at 50 and says that, you know what, I want to divert the course of my life. And this person took a short course. We talked and I thought it was a joke. I was like, you know what are you passionate about? And this person was like, I don't even know what I'm passionate about at 50 years old. And what's your purpose? Have you ever taken time and bothered to? No, I don't know what my purpose is. All I know is I've lived life for my children, and now my children, I'm an empty nester. The children are out of the house, and I feel lost. I feel, okay. I was like, okay, so let's start finding your purpose right now. Before I knew it, this person had become a speaker. This person had actually taken on, dealing with women, and actually she was dealing in women with menopause. And do you know how many women came to her? Because there were so many women in the menopause who didn't know what to do. And so she self-taught and even enrolled for a course at 50 years old and majored in that and, focused. That was refocusing. She took time and she said, you know what, I threw in a towel. By the time she came to me, she was like, I threw in a towel. At work, I resigned and I don't know where I'm going. I don't have any savings, nothing. Now, this is the last money I had was actually, she was coming for a session. The last money I had was for this session. And so I was like, okay, so you have work to do. Are you willing to put in the work? And she was like, I'm willing to put in the work. And I loved the energy that this person had. And indeed, she put in the energy, she put in the work, and she studied. And all of a sudden, right now, she's doing so many things with these women. She has clubs, paid for courses. And I'm like, okay, it's never too late to reset your life. It's never too late to take back your power, to own your life, to be in the driver's seat and to make the right decisions for your life. Okay? So, while we're talking about resetting, let's talk about, because when you reset to relaunch. Because when you talk about relaunching, this is the sweetest thing. But again, that means that what you did in the past did not work. Yes, it worked when it was good. It worked while it lasted. It worked while things were moving the way they were moving, okay? But right now, things have changed. Do you see that the world upgrades and it's evolving at a very terrific speed? That the speed at which you did things yesterday is not the speed at which you must do things today. Then you will be lost, or you will be losing money, or you will be losing, influence. Why? Because you actually have not given it time and you have not really concentrated, okay? So I want you to be able to look at relaunching. Relaunching takes strategy. Strategizing, saying that, you know what, how do I want to appear in the world? Who do I want to help in the world? Who do I want to impact in the world? And I mean, what's the impression that I want to give in the world? You are relaunching. That means you are a brand, and every human being on this planet is actually a brand. You are a full package brand. So when you come out and say, I'm an engineer, when you come out and say, I am, I'm a graphic designer, when you come out and say, I'm a photographer, when you come out out and say, I'm a social media manager, when you come out and say, you know what, because then you are going to be known by the things that you do. Now you are relaunching into the world with a lot of intention that this is how I'm going to tag myself. This is my price. This is how I don't spend time with people. I invest time in people because my time is valuable. Now you start changing certain things and you start adding value to yourself as a brand, because now you are relaunching. When you relaunch, you go back and look at you. What colors are you branding yourself? I'm not talking about the real colors in graphic designing, but how do you want to appear in the world? You realize that when people are relaunching, they are repackaging. So now you are saying that, okay, now if I'm going to be doing social media platforms or social media management, I'm going to have a gold package, I'm going to have a platinum package, I'm going to have a bronze package. This is the much that it costs, and these are the things that I give you. I have done the work, I have done the research, and now I am willing to launch back. Okay, so you realize for the time that maybe you have been away, when people are relaunching, most times what do? They go and disable their websites. And they say under renovation, or we are constructing this website. Why? They want to disappear with their old version so that you're not seeing them anymore. And then after some time they come back, and you know what? It's a totally different, like there's a fresh breath. Now, don't come back to us and tell us that I have rebranded when there is no freshness to you. When it's all the dead things and the old things. No. This is a different time and era. And I've told you that the world is evolving and growing at a very terrific speed. So if you have reset, if you are trying to elevate and upgrading, that means a time is going to come and you relaunch. And you will have to, announce your arrival. Some of us are celebrities in so many ways, and I'm not talking about the celebrities that we think are celebrities. If you're a father, you're a celebrity in your home. Okay, you're celebrated for the things that you do. If you're at work, at workplace, you're a celebrity in your workplace, because apparently work can't go on without you, because you have a major part to play, a major role to play. And if you play it well, everyone says, you know what, I need so and so, I need to pass it by so and so. You are being celebrated for your contribution. So we celebrate people in so many different ways. Okay, so as you relaunch, I want you to be able to be mindful. How do you come back? How do you reappear? There's some of you we are chatting here and you're a housewife, but you're thinking that, you know what, I want to be a different kind of housewife. Do you know that you can be a housewife right now in this age and era and earn money at home? You can be a virtual assistant. You can do research for people. People literally don't want to employ PAs that are full-time these days, and they're willing to employ virtual assistants that are seated in their homes, but they can send you a work document and you can be able to do it. Some of you are home, you're a housewife. Yes, you decided to take time off work so that you can bring up your children, and that is a very commendable thing to do. But again, you can do so much at work so that you can stop grumbling and gossiping and just wasting time and waking up at midday and stuff like that. You can still be at home and you can have your work desk and wake up, bathe, cologne, and put on so well, sit at your desk and do your job and submit your work online and make good money out of it. So there is no way you can tell me that in this age and era you can't get what to do. There are people that I'm communicating to, and maybe you hit the rock bottom and you need to start down. But starting down can mean so many things, even just washing clothes at the village. Even there's so many things that you can do. I know that I'm talking to us and we all have different statuses where we fall, but again, I don't want to leave anyone behind. I want us to be able to know that resetting is for all of us, relaunching is for all of us, and we can relaunch in a mega way, and it doesn't have to be too huge and with an earthquake and shaking the world. No, but the simplicity with which you appear in the world, but well programmed and well put together, knowing what you want. When someone asks you a question, you know exactly what to say. People go to restaurants even without knowing what to eat. Like simple things. Someone asks you, how much should I give you? And you even can't start anywhere. Someone asks you what your passion is. You even don't know what you're passionate about. As in, can we be able to re-edit our lives? So bouncing back, some of these things, when you talk about realigning, rebooting, retreating, resetting, it's all all pointing to one fact: personal growth. It's all pointing to one fact: coming out from the places where we were buried, okay? Coming down with the places where we've been beaten, where we had lost ourselves, where we had gotten stuck. And now we are saying we don't want to be there anymore. That takes intention. And the intention is followed up by work. So I want to get your hands dirty. I want you to get your feet dirty. I want you to be involved in the rebranding of you as a person. I want you to get involved in the resetting of your life. I want you to get involved. No one is going to come from anywhere, not even on any planet. And by the way, God is not going to come from anywhere and speak a very huge voice and flash a very huge light in your life and tell you, oh, it's time to change. Or you just wake up. I've seen people who fantasize, my friend. They daydream. They wake up. Someone told me, I just wish one day I just wake up and my life has changed. That has never happened to anyone, and it's not about to happen to you. So the change that you want to see, you engage it, you initiate it, and you actually go ahead and act upon it. Okay, so there is no two ways about it. I'm sorry, maybe I should have been here telling you, oh, it's going to be easy, and then you're just going to be a millionaire and a billionaire, in just a few months. No, it takes work, it takes toil, it takes hustle. Okay, it takes you getting your hands dirty, being involved in the making of your life. You realize it's in the making of your life. So if you need to wake up early, wake up early. If you need to hit the gym, hit the gym. If you need to re-strategize and retreat, retreat and re-strategize. If you need to call on a mentor, call on a mentor. If you need, do the action steps that point you to the direction of your growth and point you to the direction of realigning and being able to reboot yourself and being able to reset yourself and being able to relaunch. I'm waiting to see the new version of you, because we're saying do not compete with anyone. And that's what I'm telling you. Do not compete with anyone. Compete with the old version of yourself so that you can be better than who you were tomorrow, so that you can achieve better than what you achieved tomorrow. We cannot boast about yesterday's version, so that you're better than what you were yesterday. So tomorrow is going to be better, but we make it better. No one makes it better. It just doesn't happen. I love you all, and I pray that we all get to work, okay, and make our lives better. And while we're at that, let's hold someone's hands.
The mind might get tired, but learning and teaching never stops. Yes, the mind needs to rest, but you don't have to totally switch off. We've got your afternoon covered. Time is money, and time never stops. Every second, new innovation and skills are evolving, yet they are commendable for you. So, here on the Chit Chat, from Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m., present your business to the world. What do you do? What is your mantra? Can you explain it to others? Well, we are coming to you wherever you are. Inform and educate the public about your work. With me, Simon Masanyu, here on the Chit Chat. Explain and build another.
Spirit TV, a place for you. Spirit TV, a place for you.
Hey, what's up, family and friends? I know I am late, but I'm not late. I'm here to bring you good news. I have an Easter Monday plot that will be the 10th of April at the new Kaboa Redeemed Church. The Masanyu experience is actually going down on that particular day. Lots of fun activities to actually be there, a lot of prizes to be won, and most importantly, we are going to be having amazing artists, dance groups, comedians, name them. We are going to be having an amazing day as we celebrate the risen Jesus Christ. So definitely book your slot and let's happen on that particular day. 10th of April, Easter Monday, New Kaboa Redeemed Church, 3 p.m. See you there. Peace out.
The heart of Kampala.
I love you.
The spirit of radio.
All the new music I love.
96.6 FM.
Christian radio. Lifting you up and making you feel good in the name of Jesus.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. The Music Radio.
Can't stop, won't stop.
We are your ultimate music for life station. We are Spirit FM.
Welcome to Bahati, talking about real issues that are affecting you as an individual. Insights about financial and personal growth, plus better relationships. And now, Bahati.
Yes, hello amazing people. I'm Bahati Hilda Sabiti and welcome to the show. So many things are going to be shared and dissected, and so many things are going to be explained and broken down. And what I ask of you is that we move together on the same chapter. I know sometimes I tend to be a bit speedy, but please catch up, okay? And if you have any questions, if you have anything to say, we will definitely have to share. This is not just about me speaking at you. This is us sharing so that we can develop, so that we can build each other, so that we can grow, we can transform our lives and be able to transform other people's lives. I don't think you should be a reservoir. No, I think you should be a water that flows and you're able to impact other people's lives. So if you learn, you share, okay? So if you promise me that, then we are together. Now, today we're going to talk about resetting. We're going to talk about rebooting. We're going to talk about realigning and refocusing. And this particular topic for me comes in at a very crucial moment where we need to be able to take a step back. For some of us are already on the tracks. We are running at at a neck-breaking speed. But some of us are actually overwhelmed. Okay, some of us are depressed. Some of us are stuck. Some of us are lost. And then some of us, and most of us, I would say, have no one to turn to, have no one to talk to, and they have no one to bounce off ideas with. So this is why I'm here, so that you will know that actually you're not the only one, okay? You're not the only one that is lost. And the other thing is that you're not the worst human being or the worst, lost human being. No, we are together in this and we want to find a way back, and that is why we are here. So when we talk about retreat, what exactly do we understand? Because we have a lot of re's here that we are going to explain, but I want us to first talk about retreat, because when you talk about retreat, for so many people, they take it like you have failed. They take it like you have lost, because when you go to your dictionary, it will tell you, the armies retreat after they have lost, and they feel like the other army has a better advantage against them. And that also applies in life, by the way. There are times where we take 2 steps back because we feel like, okay, we didn't prepare enough, we didn't plan enough, and now we have to be able, and we're faced with something that is bigger than we thought. We miscalculated whatever was going to happen. Could be a business, could be a relationship, could be a marriage, could be whatever it is. And then now you're disentangling, you're taking a step back to be able to rethink, to be able to replan. So you realize that when a re happens, it calls for so many re's to happen, okay? So that means you are retreating to re-strategize. You are retreating to reset. You are retreating to realign your thoughts, your weapons. It could be your capital, it could be your knowledge, it could be, but you are retreating for a reason. And that takes a lot of self-awareness. I want that to sink in. That takes a lot of self-awareness, and that takes a lot of being sensitive, okay? Because so many people rush and go without a sense of direction in life. You rush and go without calculating whether it's the risk, what you will need, you without preparing. And now a time comes where you have to be very sensitive to know that, by the way, now, okay, I'm way so much into this, and I'm way in over my shoulders or way in over my neck, and I need to redeem myself. That is a sensitive person, and that is a self-aware person, and that is a person that accepts and admits that, you know what, now I either need help or I need to take cover and be able to come back in another dimension. Now, those things, being sensitive, being self-aware, and admitting that this is needed, those things are very, very crucial. Otherwise, so many of us are running on empty lives. So many of us are running on empty gas. Like the car cannot speed, it cannot accelerate anymore, but you're busy on the pedal, you're busy pressing it down and thinking that a miracle is going to happen. Sorry, I have to break it to you. It's not going to happen. That it's not going to accelerate. You just need to do something different. And so if you are sensitive, if you are self-aware, and if you admit that this is me, I am lost, this is me, I'm way in over my shoulders, this is me, I'm not prepared enough, this is me, this is overwhelming and it's bigger than I thought, then you have to retreat. So retreating is not a failure. Retreating actually is a recipe for success. Okay? Retreating gives you time to study what you are about to engage. It gives you time to re-strategize, to say that, you know what, I started this business with this kind of capital, okay? And now I realize that this kind of capital is actually not enough for me to run. So what do I do? Do I engage so many people? Do I, do I do social media advertisement? Do I call people that, hey guys, come, come and buy, and yet I actually don't have merchandise? So the tactical you will tell you that, you know what, retreat, do not over advertise, go back, regroup, and make sure that you actually go into capital mobilization and then come back, reinvest, and then start again. Or you can actually, for some of us, retreating is not going all the way back to zero. For some of us, retreating means going to 50%. We were at 80% or 90%, or we were running faster than usual, and now we're saying I am cutting back on my speed. That is good for you, because then how will you know the loopholes? How will you know the places where things have not worked well if you do not have the plan for you to retreat in? And for the Bible read, I usually love quoting the Bible. For the Bible readers, there is somewhere where it talks about retreating and gaining strength, that in coming back, in retreating, that is how we will be re-energized and replenished, and then we will be able to come back, whether it's in the battle, whether it's in combat, whether it's in business, whether it's in marriage. But you realize coming back, and for some of us, retreating means prayer. For some of us, retreating means silence and meditating. For some of us, retreating, because we are in a chaotic world, let's admit, you have social media notifications that are rushing in your ears, the emails are banging, and Twitter is banging, Snapchat is saying something, Instagram is calling for your attention, and you can barely breathe. But remember, you have goals, and these goals are things that are very crucial and you have to take care of. So that means retreating is saying, you know what, I've been lost in so many things that I am planning not to do, so many distractions, and that's the word, distractions, okay? We are distracted half the time, and then so many of us are actually addicted to those distractions. So I want you to take a good measure of yourself, okay, and be able to know when to retreat, when to advance, when to wait, okay? That is very, 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 very tactical when it comes to success. You're not going to just run just like that. And I remember there's a tweet I made some time back and say that the first thing for you is to lock in your direction, okay, before the speed. Some of us engage speed before looking in the direction, and then we run towards the wrong direction, only to get so far and realize that, oh, okay, this is not where I wanted to go, and then we are now retracking, we are coming back, but it's taking too much time. It's wasting a lot of time, okay? But it's better to know, okay, I am very slow, I'm retreating, I am resetting, I am looking in my direction, that this is where I want to go. When it comes to marriage, this is the person that I want to marry. When it comes to a course, this is the course. Actually, it's better if you have your money, bank it or keep it or invest it, okay? If you've not yet understood what kind of course you want to do, because so many people are doing courses that they have no business doing. And then all of a sudden, after achieving it or even graduating, they're thinking, okay, I'm not going to do anything with this. And and I've spent 3 years of my life pursuing this, okay? You don't want to do that. Some of us have never known what our purpose is. We have never known what we are passionate about. And then we keep starting businesses, and those businesses are failing. You start another business, and that business is failing. And then you're thinking, oh, what's wrong with me? I think I have, and then we have a habit of saying demons. Demons have problems, they have issues, because we will talk about demons, we will talk about the devil, even when the devil is nowhere in our lives. But we have never taken time to understand who we are. Because someone is running a boutique, you're thinking, I will run a boutique. Now, if you run a boutique and then you hit a dead end, retreat. Okay, you can sell that merchandise on Goodwill. You can be able to, but whatever you need to do with your merchandise, never to lose everything. But when you retreat and understand that, oh, actually, I'm more interested in opening up a home school for kids, because I love kids. I love teaching kids. I can do it without even any kind of payment. You realize you took a step back. And sometimes when people take a step back, this is really exciting for me. When people take a step back, we think they have failed. When people take a step back, let me say for a year, okay? When someone says, oh, I took a sabbatical. These days it sounds like it's a fancy word that people just throw around. Oh, I'm on a sabbatical. No. And sometimes, by the way, people retreat in silence. Silence is power, okay? Take 6 months undercover, work on yourself. By the time you hit the scene again, people are like, where have you been? What? I didn't know you could do this. Oh my goodness, you're so good at this. And you're like, you know what? In silence and in hiding, in retreating and in coming back, I re-strategize, I reset, I refocus. I understood my purpose, I understood my passion, and now I am coming back in power. Okay? So no one should ever lie to you that you getting back, taking steps back is a problem, because we have social media. Apparently everyone is running. Even those that are not running, they show us that they are running. You would rather copy and paste. You would rather dress like everyone is dressing. You would rather post every day, but you are dying inside. I've told a few people, take a social media rest, okay? You need it. And by the time you come back, you are revamped. By the time you come back, you are relaunching. So let me just get this out of the way. You realize that when you're talking about retreat, we are retreating to re-energize, to redo all these things. And then after that, the cycle ends up in relaunching and redirecting. And so the whole cycle is filled with re's, okay? You are rebooting, you are re-energizing, you are resting, you are, and then you relaunch. And we will talk about relaunching, because I don't get me started on relaunching, because relaunching is another thing, because I know some of you at the verge of, you have learnt your lessons, and sometimes we retreat not because we want to retreat. Sometimes we are forced into retreat. Let that sink. Sometimes we are forced into surrender, where the enemy presses you hard and you have no option. You can't go forward, you can't go sideways, you just have to take steps back, because you need to survive. And surviving to see the next day is a victory. It's not a loss, okay? So I want you to be able to think about the things that we are talking about. I want you to be able to put yourself in this position and know that in so many ways we need to retreat. We talk about retreats when we're talking about those vacations, those fancy vacations that people go to. Oh, they went to a church retreat. Oh, they went to a conference, a seminar retreat. Oh, what do they go to do there? They actually don't go to rest. They don't go to do reels and Instagram videos. Apart from people today, they actually go to retreats to do those fancy things. But I know for sure that when I go for a retreat, I am closing myself off the whole world, even social media. And I am saying, you know what, this is me. So many of you, or so many of the people didn't understand me when the year was beginning. I was actually too slow. I slowed down, and it was very intentional. I was like, you know what, what's the rush? like, is there anything being given out? No, no one is giving out anything. And I actually need the rest more. I need to pray more. I need to prepare more for this year. There are people that are counting on me. I need to show up ready. I need to prepare. And that has actually helped so much. But how many of us can actually do that? But just like I said, some of us are against the wall. We have been forced into the retreat. Now, even if you're forced into the retreat, take time, pen and paper, and refocus on your life, okay? And make sure that you know what's important and what's not important. Because when you talk about refocusing, let's go a little bit away from the retreat and talk about refocusing, because you've been focusing on so many things and your vision was now blurry because you're focusing on what people are saying, you're focusing on, you know, what is being done on social media, you're focusing on what your boss is saying, you're focusing on what, but what are you saying? What are you here for? Why were you created? So when you come back into the retreat, that is when you're like, okay, I'm highlighting the major areas in my life. What are my finances looking like? So many of us don't like to focus on that area. We don't want to highlight. We don't want to flash a torch. Why? Because it's painful, okay? Because in order to grow your finances, apparently you must save, you must invest, you must be able to, you know, deny yourself a few things, sacrifice a few things. So we don't want to go to that area where, like, you know what, let's just spend. Life is too short. You never know where your life ends. And so we keep going with the bandwagon. And then you can refocus and say, how is my relationship life, my marriage life looking like? And most importantly, what is my relationship with myself? How am I relating with myself? Do I love myself? Is my confidence good enough? Is my self-esteem shattered because of so many things? How can I do a check on myself? Just like we go to a doctor for 1 day in a year to do a whole body checkup, can you check up on yourself? Okay, how far are your batteries? Are you depleted? Do you need to recharge? Recharge is another word. Okay, so you realize we have a lot of reasons. Okay, so when you highlight on some of these major areas and you're like, what do I want? I want to advance in education. And you're like, oh, education, I have to flash a light right there. Okay, so you're flashing a light on your finances. How do I grow my finances? Where? And be very honest. That's the thing. Let it sink in. Be very honest. While you are doing you're re-auditing your life, okay? Make sure that you are very honest. Don't look at the surface, okay? Make sure that you go deep, okay? If you're broke, admit to yourself that you are broke. And do not live a life that is flamboyant to please anyone. Don't go on, you know, servicing things and paying off things and showing people how you have money. Just ask yourself, you know what, at the end of the day, who cares more about me? I think I care more about me, and I shouldn't care about the validation of everyone else. So ask yourself, what has hurt your finances? Random expenses, spending emotionally, okay? Buying things on impulse, things that you're not going to use. Look at your wardrobe. Look at the shoes that you have on your shoe rack. Look at how much clutter you have in your house about the things that you don't even need in the first place. When you see a Gipas machine, you want that one. When you see another air fryer, you want that one. When you see another blender, you want that one. So ask yourself, where am I leaking? Where are my finances leaking? Okay, why can't I retain enough? Okay, do I even have an emergency fund just in case something happened right now? Can I be able to run 6 months without being employed? Okay, I want you to do a self-analysis, a real check. That is what retreating and refocusing does, because then it takes you to the wounds, it opens up the wounds, you feel the hurt, and you're like, you know what, now I'm going to start the journey of addressing these wounds. I'm going to get the right doctor. That is when I'm going to get a financial coach, or no, I'm just going to get a mentor, someone that is older than me that, you know, I see has really made it in life, and I would want them to give me a wisdom. Okay, I'm going to, you know, save the money, or I'm going to look for investment opportunities, or I am actually going to take a break from buying clothes. I've done that for a full year, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not spending a dime, I'm not spending a coin on buying any clothes. I will do my wardrobe overhaul after a year. And you decide and be in charge. Be in the driver's seat of your life. No one should control your life apart from you, okay? This is what happens. You will arrive at a destination and ask yourself, this is not where I wanted to arrive. I wanted to arrive at a place where I am wealthy. I wanted to arrive at a place where my relationship or marriage is good. I wanted to arrive at a place where my children are really doing good and they're in school and they're flourishing and they're thriving. I wanted to arrive at a place where my spiritual life is intact, my relationship with God is good. I want to arrive at a place where I'm actually purposeful and impacting lives and transforming lives. I want to matter. I want to not just be successful, but be significant in this life. That is the kind of life, that is the destination I want to arrive. But guess what? The destination that you are arriving, and the GPS is warning you and saying that, oh, your destination is on the left. Meanwhile, while you look on the left, there is no happy relationship that you thought about. There is no wealth that you thought about. There is no children and, you know, flourishing and paying school fees. There is no good relationship with God. There is nothing like purpose and passion and impacting lives and transforming lives. There is nothing like being significant. And then you're like, oh, why did I end up here? It's because you were not in your driver's seat. And even if you were in your driver's seat, you just decided to sit at the steering wheel and you did not set off. You did not start, you did not ignite, you did not go. And now, all of a sudden, you're still in the same place and you're saying, you know, my mother took me to wrong schools, guys. You know, so you can't tell me that, oh, so and so did this. No, no one did that to you. You did that to yourself. And the earlier, or the closer you come to admitting that this is your doing, then the closer you will come to saying, now this has to be undone by me, by retreating, refocusing, recharging, re-energizing, re-strategizing, and making sure that I am on the right track, having the full check. So you see how you have gone through your finances, you know where the leakages are, okay? You know what you're not doing right. And then there are some of us that need to ask ourselves, I need to earn more money. How do I earn more money? Let me tell you, to every question in this world, there is an answer. And if you ask the right question, you get the right answer. If you ask the wrong question, you get the wrong answer. So if you ask, why me? The whole world is going to conspire to show you that you are the one that has to go through that. But if you ask, if you ask yourself, how do I make more money? And then you are open-minded to think about the different avenues, that 10 ways. Let me tell you, someone can give you 10 options of how you can make money. And then you'll be like, but where have I been? But you know what most of us are not willing to do? We are not willing to take action. We are talkers. We talk and talk and talk and talk. How we want good things, how we want good life, we have all these dreams, but empty dreams, because we are not willing to do even a simple action that will take us from point A to point B and from point B to point C and but again, we admire a very good life. Now, woe unto you. Because then you're going to wake up and you're in shambles, in regret, and you will never restore your years back, because those years will be lost and you will be starting again somewhere. Starting again is not a problem, because it's never too late for all of us. But again, I don't want you to waste your precious time, okay? I don't want you to waste your precious time. So if you can retreat right now, if you can be able to refocus, highlight the main areas of your life. I'm repeating these things so that you can be able, because if I move on so swiftly, I know that you're not going to make those checks. Check your hygiene. Yeah, refocus and say, am I the kind that is clean enough? Check how you appear. Let me tell you, first impressions are so crucial. How you appear in the world. If you are sambala, or just anyhow, showing up anyhow, you know, even the people that look at you, what's wrong with this guy? So check your appearance. That is a very small thing, but it's very, very, very important. It can be as small as putting on a cologne. It can be as small as just bathing and brushing. It can be as small as just having your ears clean, and not your neighbor seated close to you in a boardroom that is looking at the wax in your ears. It can be as small as just maintaining a good body odor, okay? So you have to make sure that you refocus on different areas of your life. Highlight them, make sure that you are very honest with yourself, that this is where I have a problem, and make sure that you write down all your problem areas. Because if you write down all your problem areas, then you're going to be able to go back one by one. What do I do about this, because we love setting empty goals. Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, those are not goals at all. The moment you do a full audit of your life, and that can only be done in silence and in retreating and taking a step back, okay? And guess what? No action point, nothing. And then we take a month and then another month, and then we wake up when the year ends, and then we come back and we dust off our planners and we check them again. So before we even talk about the relaunching and coming back in a mega way, I want you to be able to, take a moment of silence in your own life and flash, the torches in different areas and tell me where you need to rectify, where you need to put things right, and where you need to change.
Thank you for watching. Bahati comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 p.m. here on Spirit TV. Bahati, bringing you knowledge, wisdom, financial and personal growth, better relationships leading to your transformation and elevation.